NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We start tonight with the historic breaking news here in New York City. A grand jury has voted to indict former President Trump, investigating his role in a hush money payment to an adult film star during his 2016 campaign, a claim Mr. Trump denies. A lawyer for Mr. Trump says the former president has been notified of the indictment. The action is unprecedented. It is the first time a former or sitting American president has been indicted. NBC's Garrett Hake leads our coverage tonight. Garrett, what more do we know?
Well, Lester, this historic vote came 2 months to the day since this grand jury was impaneled. The case is all about an alleged hush money payment that former Trump fixer Michael Cohen says he made on Mr. Trump's behalf to an adult film actress to silence her claims of an affair that Mr. Trump has denied. Now, the payment itself is not illegal, and we don't know specifically what charges Mr. Trump now faces. It could be a misdemeanor relating to falsifying business records, or Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg could also have charged a low-level felony, which would be more of a legal gamble.
And Garrett, this is a moment the president has been anticipating for weeks. He was making this public at a time a lot of people weren't talking about it.
That's right, Lester. He even predicted his own arrest about a week and a half ago. And tonight he's calling the indictment, quote, political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history, calling the Democratic DA a disgrace for bringing this case at all. Now attention will turn to how he handles a potential surrender, a mugshot, and appearance before a judge in New York City, which will now be a major political event in addition to part of a criminal case.
All right,
Lester?
Garrett Hake, thank you. And joining me now, NBC senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett. Laura, let's start with you in this case against the former president. It is not a sure thing in terms of what we know so far about the indictment.
Lester, it is a historic move for sure, but it is far from an open and shut case. Based on what we know, at this moment, the charges we believe prosecutors have zeroed in on, a potential charge of falsifying business records, requires an intent to defraud. And Mr. Trump's attorneys will say this hush money payment was all Michael Cohen, his former lawyer's idea, and that Cohen's credibility here will be absolutely key, as he's obviously a target for Mr. Trump's lawyers, given his previous convictions on this very issue. Now, both Alvin Bragg's predecessor in the DA's office, Cy Vance, and federal prosecutors passed on charging Trump in this very hush money case. Of course, we haven't seen the exact charges. We haven't seen any indictment in this case, Lester, so that remains to be seen.
Yeah, some of these themes have been previewed up to even before this point. The investigations of Mr. Trump don't end after today's indictment. The former president is facing other legal challenges related to the 2020 election and classified documents found at his Florida home. Let's get more on that now from Kristen Welker.
Tonight's news of an indictment against former President Trump is just the first of several looming legal battles facing the former president. Investigations Mr. Trump has blasted as partisan pursuits.
They're not coming after me, they're coming after you. I'm just standing in their way.
In Georgia, a Fulton County grand jury has recommended indictments for multiple unnamed people after an 8-month probe into potential interference in Georgia's 2020 election, where Mr. Trump narrowly lost. One element of the investigation, this phone call between Mr. Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Any charges against Mr. Trump would be up to the DA, but the jury forewoman saying this.
There are certainly names that you would recognize, yes.
Mr. Trump has blasted the investigation run by a Democratic prosecutor as a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time. Also swirling, the special counsel investigation into the former president's handling of classified documents. Last summer, the FBI seized thousands of documents from Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, including more than 100 marked classified after he refused requests to turn them over for months. The special counsel is also investigating Mr. Trump's actions surrounding January 6th. Mr. Trump has dismissed the special counsel investigation as a horrendous abuse of power, but it could present greater legal danger than the case in New York.
The crime that he allegedly committed is a bookkeeping crime, essentially, compared to the other investigations, which include efforts to overthrow or overturn the 2020 election. The New York case seems to be the least serious of them all.
Kristen Welker, NBC News, Washington.
And NBC News Chief Justice contributor Jonathan Deans has been following developments. Let's walk through what happens now. This has not been unsealed. Could that happen tonight?
We know the paperwork has been handed up, but it is filed under seal. We are told a judge is standing by in case the district attorney decides that he wants to move forward and unseal the documents tonight and release any sort of statement tonight. We're waiting for word from the DA as to what he plans to do. And we're also waiting word as when might President Trump come to New York to face these charges. We're told it's not possible, most likely tomorrow. So then the question is it Monday or Tuesday of next week? With the holidays coming, they may want to try to make that happen in early next week. Otherwise, they may push it past the holidays.
And there are security considerations, obviously, as well.
The NYPD ramping up security around the city as a precaution.
Jonathan Deans, good to have you here. Thanks so much. Tonight.
What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. Hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Sunday night. Doing pretty good myself. What do we have here? Another scandal. Another Trump scandal, that is. You understand? Seems to be never any shortage of Trump scandals. Scandals, period, in this particular country. You know, which I think is all done to keep us distracted. You understand what I mean? Look here to the right while something messed up going on to the left. Mostly that's what always happens, you understand? Like this converting, the dollar into digital. By the way, the dollar is failing in a lot of different countries right now as we speak. Kenya, as a matter of fact, no, I think it is Kenya. Kenya, as a matter of fact, talking about how the dollar, if you are using the American dollar, US dollar or whatever, you can really pretty much consider it as garbage. You understand? But be that as it is, here's another Trump scandal. And like I said, more than likely, Joan was just discussing with me, more than likely that his lawyer is going to take the fall for this particular situation, whatever it is, because Trump is not going to do a day. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And also, they do not want that dude back in office, because he can run again. And being that, they coming up with these charges, you understand, that could result in a misdemeanor to a felony. Hey, they trying to keep him out the office. That's just what it is. Now, to get to the brother up to the on the upper right-hand corner, that's actually smiling, laughing, or whatever. That is a brother right there named Yusef Salam. Some of you may already know who he is, but look, let's get into this particular story right here. Boom. Wrongly accused Central Park 5 member cheers Trump's indictment with a single word statement. Karma. Okay? Yeah, he's one of the Central Park 5. You understand? Y'all know how Trump did them, the Central Park 5. He said that they were guilty when they were not. So, of course, the brother Yusef Salam is now actually saying, good for you, this is karma. This is what you get. Okay? Now, get into this article right here. It says, as President Donald Trump declined to apologize for his controversial position in 1989 on the Central Park 5, the 5 black and Latino teenagers who were wrongly convicted of assaulting and raping a white woman in Central Park. Now that Trump has been indicted in New York, a member of that exonerated group, that is, has a concise response. Karma, okay? Yusef Salam, now a candidate for the New York City Council, noted in his brief statement on Twitter that Trump never said sorry for calling for my execution. So yeah, Trump tried to basically get these brothers right here, executed behind something that they didn't even do. Some white guy had did that to that woman, and she had to know it, but you know how it always, go down. Blame the black man, okay? Now, it says here, right here in this, what's that, hashtag or at Dr. Yusuf, hashtag post, power post, it says, for those asking about my statement, on the indictment of Donald Trump, who never said sorry for calling for my execution. Here it is. And then it goes karma. Basically karma is just you reaping what you sow, But nobody's calling for Trump's execution, at least not yet. All right. To continue here, it says in 1989, Trump bought newspaper advertisements calling for New York State to adopt the death penalty after the attack on the jogger. He made clear that he was speaking out because of the attack, though the ads did not explicitly, whatever, I can't pronounce that word properly, that is, call for the death penalty for 5 defendants, the New York Times reported. Okay, let me bring this in a tad bit more. It does help. Okay, to continue here, the 5 teenagers, including Salam, were convicted, but said they were coerced into giving confessions for crimes they didn't commit. Yeah, I saw that movie on Netflix, and yeah, the coerced is an understatement. They basically, if it went anyway like the movie, said it did, they basically beat these kids into confession. You understand? Also, they threw out evidence that would have exonerated them even, So that's just what it is. But to continue here, you have people on both sides of that. Trump said in 2019, when asked about it at the White House, they admitted their guilt. Trump has been indicted by a Manhattan grand jury in connection with hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels, making him the first former president to be criminally charged. Okay, the Reverend Al Sharpton, who protested outside the courthouse during their trials, said in a statement to Insider, "All I can say is what goes around comes around." Okay, again, you reap what you sow. Okay, in conclusion here, it says it's not lost on those of us who were there in 1989 that Donald Trump would likely walk into the same courthouse where the exonerated 5 were falsely convicted for a crime they did not commit. He said, "Let's not forget that it was Donald Trump who took out full-page ads calling for these 5 black and brown young men to get the death penalty. This is the same man who's now calling for violence when he has to go through the same system. The same man will have to stand up in court, in a courtroom, and see firsthand what the criminal justice system is like." Okay? Yeah, like I said, dude ain't gonna do a day. Don't get caught up in the hype. You understand what I'm saying? But nevertheless, it's fun to watch him go through it just the same. I must admit, you understand? This stuff is a circus anyway. You may as well go ahead and get some kind of entertainment out of it. You understand? So what I want you guys to do is let me know what you guys think about this particular situation right here in the comment section. Do y'all think that Trump is going to do a day? Or is this some kind of BS, to just keep us distracted and to keep him out of office? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and comments in the comment section. Let me know. Well, that's all I got on this one, people. If you want to support the channel, the Cash App will be in the description box. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And people, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.